In the Transformers franchise, many characters share the same mold. From a toy perspective, this allows Hasbro and Takara to put a variety of toys on the shelf for less cost. This also can lead to army building your toy collection. While the Decepticons have the Seekers, the Autobots tend to have more of a variety among their ranks. However, these three Autobots share a car mode that have been dubbed the Datsun Brothers by fans. While many Transformers fans are familiar with the military strategist Prowl,
I've got the plan. If all of you have got the cast iron manifolds for it, we have.
And the diversionary tactician Smokescreen,
It's all in the wrist.
most people forget about the Autobot Gunner, Bluestreak.
Who, me? Autobots, roll!
I'd like to thank my patrons and my channel members for your continued support. Consider becoming one, or purchase some merch. Links are in the description below. Takara's original Diaclone toy line featured transforming car robots that were based on licensed cars and were released in a variety of colors. This was no different for the car robot Fairlady Z. Transforming into a Datsun 280ZX Turbo, also known as the Nissan Fairlady Z Turbo, the figure was released with two separate color schemes, in addition to the police variant and the rally car. Hasbro imported these figures to be part of the Transformers toy line in 1984. The police version was given the name Prowl. The rally car was released in 1985 as the Autobot Smokescreen. However, for the third vehicle, it would seem that Hasbro was trying to decide which of the two were to be released. The prototype used for the box art and the promotional material was the blue color scheme. This was probably the reason Bob Budiansky chose to name the character Bluestreak. Interestingly, the silver-colored version with a black hood was what was chosen for the character's appearance in both the comics and the cartoon. While it might not be related, a discovery of lead in the paint used in some of the molds delayed the launch of the Transformers. It is possible that this was the reason an all-silver deco was chosen when Bluestreak finally arrived as part of the initial lineup of Transformers in 1984. In his profile as written by Bob Budiansky, Bluestreak is an Autobot gunner who's never met a Decepticon he didn't dislike. In addition to his enduring speed in vehicle mode, Bluestreak is equipped with formidable weaponry, despite his disdain for war. Haunted by memory of his home city being destroyed by the Decepticons, Bluestreak copes by talking incessantly. First introduced in the Marvel Comics, Bluestreak was one of the Autobots aboard the Ark when it crash-landed on Earth 4 million years ago. Reawakening in the present day of 1984, Bluestreak states that he gets his name for talking fast like a blue streak. When it was learned that Sparkplug Witwicky was forced to help the Decepticons, Bluestreak suggested that they leave Earth and the Decepticons behind by repowering the Ark. But Prime disagreed, as it was the Autobots' responsibility to stop the Decepticons. After a series of events led to the Matrix being transferred to Buster Witwicky, Prowl ordered Bumblebee and Bluestreak to protect the boy. After witnessing Buster kiss his girlfriend, Jessie, Bluestreak wasn't shy to ask what function it served. But before Bluestreak can get an answer, the Decepticons attacked. As they stood no chance against the might of Jetfire, Buster used the power of the Matrix to disassemble Jetfire and rebuild him to serve the Autobots. Once Optimus Prime was restored, Bluestreak was present when Jetfire was officially branded as an Autobot. However, Bluestreak was promoted to background character status for the rest of the comic's run until he was one of the many victims killed by an underbase-powered Starscream. Unlike his comic book counterpart, Bluestreak made regular appearances in the first 2 seasons of the cartoon.
Watch the birdie laser!
To differentiate him from Prowl, Bluestreak's head was slightly modified in its design, and he was equipped with his shoulder-mounted cannons. This went along with his function as a gunner, as he fired on Decepticons, usually by surprise.
And while they work, I'll take care of our 3 Raiders!
Voiced by Casey Kasem, Bluestreak always tried to lighten up everyone's mood with a quick joke.
You look like somebody mugged your manifold!
Though sometimes his chatter fell a little flat among his teammates.
Maybe Holmes got glitched
hatch mice in his databanks again.
Despite his disdain for war,
Such senseless violence!
Bluestreak never hesitated to help his fellow Autobots, such as when Ironhide chased down the Decepticons after they had escaped from a crystal mine.
Call it off, Ironhide! There's too many of them! They're out of reach! Stop yapping, Bluestreak! This is my fight! Make it our fight!
While Skywarp shot down Ironhide, Bluestreak quickly came to his friend's aid.
Throw me a line! You got it!
After tracking the Decepticons to a hangar in the episode Roll For It, Bluestreak and Prowl soon realized they had bit off more than they can chew. Fortunately, Prowl was able to connect to the internet.
Prowl, this is Chip Chase. Don't worry, I'm assuming control now.
And Chip Chase helped save them with a little human ingenuity.
Now this is a human after my own central processor!
Bluestreak was also among the Autobots who sparred with Snarl and Swoop, as the newly created Dinobots tested their abilities.
In a real fight, we'd have creamed them. Maybe.
As one of the many Autobots reprogrammed by Megatron's personality destabilizer device in the episode Attack of the Autobots, Bluestreak attacked Jazz, attempting to force his fellow Autobot to be reprogrammed as well.
Hey man, I don't want to hurt you, but you get me stinged!
Fortunately, Bluestreak was the first to be saved by Sparkplug's Attitude Exchanger. From there, Bluestreak assisted the rest of the Autobots to save their teammates.
Thanks, I needed that!
In the episode Trans-Europe Express, Bluestreak raced with his fellow Autobots in the Europa 2000. Racing alongside them was Augie Kane, who drove a high-tech car made from an energy-resistant alloy.
Listen, you. Didn't anyone ever tell you about fair play? I'm gonna win that $1,000,000. Keep driving like that and you won't live long enough to win it. Not that that'd be any great tragedy, but some decent people might get hurt. I've got a race to win. What a creep.
Megatron sought out the Pearl of Bahudin in Turkey, which was made from a Cybertronian weather control device that had crashed on Earth. To harness its power, Megatron needed the alloy of Augie's car, and so he sent out the Stunticons to retrieve it.
That's right, because we're taking your car.
And take out the racing Autobots.
Oh, my aching cylinders.
While helping the wounded Smokescreen, Bluestreak managed to ride on Wild Rider long enough to get away. Finding Professor Terra Nova, who had escaped from the Decepticons earlier, Bluestreak, along with Trax and Bumblebee, soon learned of Megatron's plans and quickly rolled out to stop him. Alongside the road, Bluestreak picked up Augie, who showed off his driving skills behind the wheel of Bluestreak as the three Autobots finished the race. Continuing past the finish line, the Autobots confronted the Decepticons despite being vastly outnumbered. Bumblebee managed to take the Pearl of Bahudin from Megatron and then opened its casing. This created a massive windstorm. Realizing that the Pearl was lost, Megatron retreated, leaving Menasor to destroy the Autobots. In a last-ditch effort, Augie Kane sacrificed his car to stop the giant Decepticon combiner, while Bumblebee jumped into the windstorm to destroy the Pearl. Bluestreak's final cartoon appearance was in Transformers the movie, helping Kup with a roadblock before the Battle of Autobot City. While there were other Autobot casualties, Bluestreak was not among them. With his toy discontinued in 1986, Bluestreak, like Cliffjumper, was written out of the cartoon. This was only further cemented after Casey Kasem left the show.
Oh, look out below!
After G1 ended, Bluestreak has been mostly forgotten about in most of Transformers media. However, he has appeared in a few comic series. In the Dreamwave comics, Bluestreak informed his friend Optronics that Sentinel Prime was killed by Megatron. After Optronics was given the Matrix and became Optimus Prime, Bluestreak continued the fight alongside his fellow Autobots. The details for Optronics, or as he's known in other Transformers media as Orion Pax, will be a discussion for another day. In the present on Earth, Bluestreak was untrusting of Shockwave, since the memory of his hometown still haunted him. He wasn't wrong though. After Bluestreak accompanied Optimus Prime in surrender, Shockwave ordered Ultra Magnus to deactivate the Autobots when they arrived on Cybertron. Fortunately, the Autobots on Cybertron had organized a resistance, and so Broadside and Sandstorm freed the captive Autobots. After badgering Gears for wanting to return home so badly, Bluestreak battled against the Decepticons to free Cybertron from Shockwave's control. Once the battles were over, Bluestreak tried to get his fellow ARC crew members to return to Earth with Prowl so that they can begin construction of Autobot City. In early 2002, Takara had reissued Bluestreak's toy in cartoon-accurate colors. However, since his name was Streak in Japan, they didn't have to worry about trademark, though they did name his all-blue Vinyltech figure as Bluestreak. This wasn't the case in Hasbro's markets, and as such, all toy releases of his character went by the name of Silverstreak during that decade. It wasn't until 2010 that Hasbro regained the rights to his name, and released a Speedstars mini vehicle under the name of Bluestreak. This caused an interesting thing to happen in the IDW comics. At first, Bluestreak was introduced in his Diaclone colors using his sharpshooting skills alongside his fellow Autobots. Once arriving on Earth, and in his cartoon colors, he suddenly started going by the name of Silverstreak until 2012, when he went back to being called Bluestreak. What made this confusing was the fact that a blue Bluestreak appeared in the Bumblebee miniseries when the character being called Silverstreak was, at the same time, helping Hot Rod in construction of a space cruiser. Some have theorized that Bluestreak and Silverstreak are two separate characters, in a similar fashion to their versions of Galvatron and Goldbug being separate from Megatron and Bumblebee. It is also possible that the bot in the Bumblebee series was Smokescreen, who has had a few toys released in that blue color scheme. In fact, in Transformers Prime, Smokescreen updated his color scheme in the show's third season to that same blue and yellow.
Come on! Robots in disguise, right?
When his Legends toy was released in those colors, they gave him the name Bluestreak, probably to keep up the name trademark. Once Hasbro reacquired the name Bluestreak, they began using it once again on a Legends figure and his Masterpiece toy. In Japan, Streak's Masterpiece toy was in his cartoon colors, while his G1 colors and Diaclone colors were released as variants named Silverstreak and Bluestreak respectively. This was also true of his chibi-sized Q Transformers figure as well. As part of Hasbro's Transformers Collectors Club, Bluestreak was released as a recolor of Combiner Wars Prowl. As seen in the Collectors Club comic, Bluestreak teamed up and combined with Toxitron's mismatched team to form Wreckage as they fought against the might of Thunder Mayhem. This figure also doubled as the Shattered Glass evil Autobot version of Bluestreak, as mentioned in the Shattered Glass Pro story, Coalescence. This has all been part of the misconception about whether or not Bluestreak's G1 toy was released in a blue-sided variant. As mentioned earlier, Hasbro was still deciding on which color scheme to use while they were putting together the first year of Transformers toys. Unfortunately, the finalized color scheme was chosen a little too late for any promotional material to be changed after the fact. In addition, some smaller local toy stores even imported Takara's Diaclone toys to keep up with the demand for the Transformers. In the catalog for 1985, Bluestreak was correctly colored among his fellow Autobot cars. All of this led to another case of the Mandela effect as it pertains to Bluestreak, since even with reissues, the original Bluestreak toy has never been released in his Diaclone blue color scheme specifically for the Transformers brand. Bluestreak returned to toy store shelves in 2019 as a Walmart exclusive special edition figure. As a redeco of Prowl from the Siege toy line, Bluestreak transformed into a Cybertronian car. The following year, his Earthrise mold brought him back to his classic roots, though he was an exclusive to various stores in different markets. To finally differentiate Bluestreak from his Diaclone colored counterpart, Hasbro redecoed Earthrise Smokescreen as a new character, Silverstreak, as part of the buzzworthy Bumblebee toy line in 2022. While he doesn't quite have his own bio as of yet, perhaps fans could come up with one themselves. For my own personal take, Silverstreak is more of a serious warrior in comparison to his chatty brother. Utilizing the Silver Shriek on his hood, Silverstreak absorbs laser fire and blasts them back at Decepticons with his shoulder-mounted cannons. While characters such as Prowl and Smokescreen have been seen in various Transformers series, and now with Barricade added to the mix, it's difficult to forget the Chatty Gunner, who shared the same mold as them. We can only hope to see Bluestreak return in one of the many Transformers series in the future.
Hang on and hide! I mean, hold tight! Forget it!
But what do you think? Were you ever confused about Bluestreak's color scheme? And does he deserve another chance in the spotlight? And should we see Silverstreak make his debut in fiction as well? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. And if you like this video, be sure to thumbs up and subscribe. I have many more Transformers videos like this coming soon, so stay tuned. And as always, until next time, till all are one.
Gangway! Surf's up, and I'm talking out!